Frazer.
Ben.
Welcome back.
We're back.
In the podcast room.
In the new podcast room.
Well, we've got new wallpaper. Well, ish.
Ish.
Looks good, mate. You and Neil have done a good job.
It looks smart. I'm happy with it.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
back again.
Yeah.
The feedback off the last one was brilliant, wasn't it?
Yeah, I must admit, I'd get like a message from Ed Caswell on Instagram going...
Handsome chap.
Yeah, I know, very good looking guy. Love that, Ben. You and Fraser are good. And then you get a couple of phone calls, a couple of people took the mic.
Yeah.
Some good comments on YouTube.
Yeah, really good. I think it was a lot of people said, "Oh, it's just great to see you and Ben." He said you can tell you're winding each other up, but you can also you see how much you care and how passionate you are. Eva, who was it?
Is that me?
No,
that's
me.
My part.
Yeah. Michael Morrissey, MR Industrial, bumped into him the other week, and he went, "Oh, I love that podcast. Brilliant."
You wouldn't think he was a brilliant health and safety expert, would you? To look at him, you just go, "What's your name? What's your name if you're not coming in?"
Possibly,
Lovely guy, but you go and talk to him about ISO or RAMs or health and safety, whatever, and he's going to tie you in knots.
I didn't know where that was going then, but yeah,
you don't know what a RAM is. That's why.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know what a RAM is.
So
possibly,
lots happened. October.
Yeah, loads.
You've been away
again. Yep.
Just in case anybody didn't realise, Fraser has been to Devon. Sorry,
Dubai. Just for clarification, we're not opening an office in Dubai.
Oh no, I couldn't believe that.
A few people have fell for that one. I apologise.
It's not even April the 1st.
It's not, but I know what I'm doing on April the 1st next year.
It made me laugh actually because I was in the office one morning with Fraser, Arthur, and we were looking at your Instagram, All Things Business Fraser.
All Things Fraser UK.
Sorry, okay, which presumably will change to
worldwide.
Yeah,
call me Pitbull.
And I think you might have had a couple of pina coladas, and you was in a nightclub, and it looked like everybody had gone out for a fag.
Yeah,
because there was nobody in there, was there, Arthur?
Was that when it was like a scene from Taken?
That's the one.
It was brilliant. It's so surreal. There was loads of people in there, but just not on the dance floor. But yeah, holiday again, great.
Created some memories.
Yeah,
recharged the batteries.
Rode a camel.
Yeah,
strong animals.
But why? Clearly, you were. It was too hot, and you stayed under the palm tree.
It was too hot. Yeah, no, it might have been a palm tree.
You got some factor 50 on that forehead, didn't you?
Right, I'm tanned all year round. It just glows on me.
Right, that's private stuff.
Yeah,
business.
Good, busy. Events, awards, the magazine. The rebrand with the merger. Did we touch on it last time?
No, I don't think we did. 'Cause it wasn't all, but yeah, it's All Things Business. Now proudly published by Giant.
Correct.
And I love the hold music.
I can't sing it, or I would.
Somebody will have to. If you're intrigued, you have to ring the office and
option 1.
Yeah,
and then ask to be put on hold.
There shouldn't be any options, by the way, now. But anyway. Oh yeah, there are. Yeah. Just be put on hold. And
I'll take care of that. Yeah. So what is Giant for people that don't know?
Full marketing outsource agency.
It's brilliant as well, isn't it? The two teams coming together with the creative side and people that are fortunate that would have seen the Giant video that Dan created. I said to you, I rang you straight afterwards. The first time I watched that, I actually got goosebumps because of how good it was.
Really?
Yeah. Just goosebumps, nothing else.
Goosebumps off of a video?
Goosebumps off a video. Similar to when Beckham scored against Greece.
Yeah. No, I didn't get goosebumps, but it does make you feel very proud. Oh, yeah. And I think what it's done, it's just, and people will get this that own businesses as well. It's this. I know it sounds stupid, but structure, processes, and the headcount's obviously a lot more now.
Yeah.
More mouths to feed, but more people and personalities to look after. And I've spoken to a couple of people recently that I look up to in terms of not height, before you were to say that, but in terms of stature in the business world. And the biggest thing they've always said is it's about people and culture. And so yeah, it's been good.
It's exciting. And what is it? He says
2023 is going to be a big year. It sounds like everybody says that next year's our year, and new year, new me, and all that. But when you look at what we've all been through in this last 3 or 4 years, more so this last 18 months, I'm really excited for next year.
Massively.
But Business Awards, nearly sold out. I think I had a little look just before we came on, and I think there's 2.5 tables that are left.
2.5?
Yeah, because we've got... there are some tables that we've allowed for individual seats to be booked. Okay. So you don't have to book a table of 10. I've left the park in early this morning, met with Chris, I think his surname's Langsford. Great guy, he's like the new conference and events manager there, Chris Langsford. Really good guy, just to finish off the stuff for the Education Awards. And the Education Awards is nearly sold out. I think there's a table left for that. So, looking forward to seeing how that goes.
Do you know what I like? Is the Education Awards, and we've spoke about this, about highlighting teachers and seeing what they've done, how worthwhile their job was during COVID, that you didn't realise how much of an impact they had in your kid's life, that the Education Awards are going, and I don't think it'll be long till they're the same size as the Business Awards.
Yeah, well, that's the main reason we moved the venue, because last year we had it at the Cricket Club, which is a great venue, but I felt that it was just... I mean, we still had 300 people in there, and I felt it was 300 people at the cricket clubs. You're a bit empty. 300. I think we're going to be 310, maybe 320 for the Education Awards on the Friday at the Park Inn, and that will be perfect.
I mean, 320 people for an award show is impressive, but 320 people for an Education Awards is amazing. Well, and then Business Excellence Awards 510, 520.
So. We're at 480, 490 at the moment, and then it's just we definitely get to 500, because I've got that. That's my sort of little target that I set ourselves, just to get over that 500 mark. But we've got a bit of a space challenge in terms of some of the stuff that we want to do. In terms of on the night entertainment wise, so we might have to just rejig a little bit of it. But yes, I'm looking forward to that.
And they're like what, 3 weeks away?
Yeah,
around the corner, isn't it? It's going to be here very, very quickly. And events.
I know it sounds stupid. This, I don't know if anybody else feels this, but like when you pour yourself milk in your cereal, and you look at the sell-by date.
You look at it after you've poured the milk.
Well, as I'm pouring it, Fraser.
Well, what happens if it's gone off?
Well, I usually give you a kick in the shins and tell you to go to the shop.
Not me, mate. I don't do milk anymore.
Yeah, you Slim Jim, you. No, but I look at it, and it's generally speaking, the sell-by date's a week away. It's not going to be long before the sell-by date is for the awards. I know it sounds stupid, but that's how warped my mind is. And I keep thinking to myself, I'm probably only about 6 or 7 bowls of cereal away from realising that the sell-by date on the milk is going to be for the Business Awards. Yeah. And that's where it becomes a little bit... That's when the butterflies start to fly around in this temple of a...
There's a lot of room in there.
Okay, thank you.
To be fair, 6 or 7 bowls of cereal could only be like this afternoon, stroke tomorrow.
Okay.
So that's the events we've got coming up.
What did you think to the one that we did in London, our first, what I would call... I mean, obviously we had the launch.
Yeah, we had the launch.
Fantastic.
But our first event in London, I thought it was brilliant. I thought it was great venue, great staff, Ali McCoy's... Do you know what? I was watching the games on Amazon Prime last night.
I know.
And I sat there going, I was talking to you the other day, and you could hear him retelling those stories of when he was on the stage. And
when just to go on to that, because I listened to the same game, he's like the fan, because Declan Rice passed this ball that was ridiculous, half volley, 60 yards, pinpoint, and as Ian Darke's commentating on it, Ali McCoy's has gone, oh my...
He's got into it, hasn't he? Yeah.
It's not long before he gets snapped up. Everyone wants him on Sky or BT Sport, because Amazon, mostly they're great.
Yeah.
They're not regular enough. And Ali McCoy is wasted almost not to be...
Yeah, not to be out there more.
But definitely stole the show, I think, from a content perspective. But I thought all three of them were great.
Brilliant.
Michael probably got the joke of the best joke, which... We're not going to recite
David
now.
Batty.
Yeah, David Batty and toast. But that was definitely the best. I mean, I've told that probably about 28 times since. But yeah, I thought Ali McCoy was very much a fan's favourite on that day.
I think it was his stories on Gaza as well. If you look at, obviously, the impact that Ali McCoy's had, but then you I overlooked the fact of how close he was to Gaza when they played, and just hearing those stories was the firework one was absolutely amazing. But yeah, Michael.
So if anybody watching this wants to hear about either of those stories, they've got to ring you and book a coffee. Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell it. Or they want to hear the joke for the 29th, the 30th, the 31st.
Well, no, I'm sure I'll trust you to deliver that.
Yeah, I can, like the Royal Mail.
You just don't do what you did a couple of years ago and deliver
the punchline.
The punchline before.
No, I won't. Yeah, Michael Owen. I'll tell you what, Michael Owen I thought was fantastic because although he's sometimes maybe interpreted as being a little bit dull, I don't think that. I didn't get it. And when he spoke,
but like you're saying, I think other people interpret that, but I don't get that.
No, I don't get it.
The guy hit the peak of his career at 20. Yeah. Everybody knows where they were when he scored that goal against Argentina in 1998. He's a shrewd businessman. He's a clever cookie. When you look at what he's doing now with his work life, he's taken his professional career into. I spoke about it on stage about those 1%.
The extra 1%.
How can I improve 1% here? How can I if they're doing 5% better? Why can't I do 6%? And yeah, I find him quite an impressive individual. Very polished.
Direct as well. You asked him a question, he gave you his answer, and especially when
whose answer would you expect him to give you?
Oh no, you take a lot of sportsmen now when you ask them a question. They
give you politicians.
Yeah. Whereas he gave you his answer. It was direct to it. So yeah, that was Nobu. That was brilliant. But then, if you cast your mind back to September, we had another event.
Yeah. And another very impressive individual.
Obviously, people who had seen the carpool chat with Brian O'Driscoll, but that was weirdly one of the smallest, biggest events that we've done.
Yeah, so for those that aren't aware of it, it was an intimate evening with at Hibiscus at Delapré Abbey, which is a beautiful setting, stunning food and drink. But it was 58 of us, I think.
I think so, yeah.
A little bit tight with our room, but that was my problem because I think the quality of the furniture there, when I was doing the room plan, I just didn't do my calculation, so our table suffered for that. But I mean, everybody got that piece of Brian,
amazing.
And he's got to be one of the all-time greats in rugby union, and certainly Ireland's greatest ever rugby player.
Yeah, hands down.
But certainly top 10.
What I loved was you were in the room with Brian O'Driscoll. No matter where you were in that room, you were maybe 15 foot away from him.
Yeah.
You could see him smiling, you could see him talking, his stories were fantastic. Nothing was too much for him.
And yet he's still so engaged and motivated. I mean, he's probably in as good a shape now as he was when he was playing.
Yep.
I had the meeting with him at the Marriott just to sort of go through everything for that evening, and he went, "Is there a gym here?" And obviously, I didn't know where it was.
Did you have to ask somebody?
Okay, and I got him. I booked the hotel specifically because I knew he wanted a gym. He went off in a 45-minute session, and I felt so guilty because I went straight to the bar and had 2 pints whilst I waited for him, and he came out, and I was like, "But that just shows you how." And he has that routine, and I love that. I think it's really good, and I do. I bang on about it, but I think elite level sport and business do go hand in hand in terms of having that discipline, the right people in the right position, etc. So I love learning from those elite sports people.
The feedback was great, and he was so engaging. And like a few people said, to be honoured and privileged to spend that time with him. But sticking on rugby, because obviously again, our very own Steve Thompson, his documentary came out.
Yeah.
And that was 3 weeks back, I think.
Yeah, he's been overwhelmed with it, I think, from an emotional perspective.
Yeah.
He's everybody got to see what it's like and what it's been like for him. I still got choked up watching it, even though I'd seen the documentary a couple of times prior to it airing. And since then, he's probably had more interaction response from people that are in the non-rugby community.
Yeah.
And he's making a difference to people's lives. I mean, when I say inundated, I would say not. He hasn't had thousands and thousands of messages, but he's certainly had over 1,000 in terms of people that have messaged him on social media, contacted me, contacted Amanda, contacted the office. But he wants to respond to everybody. Like if somebody's taken the time to reach out to him, he wants to respond to them personally. And I tried to manage those expectations for him because he can't do it all, bless him. But yeah, he came to the food. You talk about another events, Food and Drink Awards. He came with me.
Yeah.
Rachel Mallows and Sophie Smith hosted that at the Derngate a couple of weeks ago. Great event, highlighting the food and drink sector locally that employs over 55,000 people. Tomo came on our table, and it was great because he got to meet some people from yesteryear, so to speak.
Yeah.
But then also meet with the good and the great of the food and drink sector, and he loves his food and drink.
He does. Yeah.
He's a bit of a talented chef. For those that don't follow him on, I say chef, not chef, cook.
Yeah.
Cook, but he's into his scones at the moment. He finds it really. So if he, say like a year ago, if he got a little bit stressed out with stuff, he'd go and hit the Peloton or go and walk the dog. Now his sort of go-to is he goes and bakes.
I saw an argument last night on Twitter on...
An argument?
An argument on cream, jam, jam and then cream.
Yeah.
And that's age-old argument, that is.
What is it then?
I don't know. I don't do them.
You just eat them?
I just eat them. I take it however they come.
But he's in a good place, and the foundation's going to be launching in the coming weeks, and he's got an exciting year ahead of him next year in terms of, he's in a good place. He's making a difference already, but he wants to make a bigger difference, and we've just got to keep him healthy and happy. So yeah. A lot's happened since our last podcast, mate. Huge.
And staying on rugby, because it's just hit me again. I thought we were more football focused, but it seems that we're being pulled into egg chasing. Medigold Health with wasps.
Yeah. I mean, tragedy. When you look at, I don't know the rugby world well enough to know the ins and the outs of it. Although when you hear about some of the salaries that the rugby players are on, like the really elite players, you do scratch your head and think, hold on, how can clubs justify that? And I don't know the ins and the outs in terms of how that's made up from image rights and international, etc.
Yeah.
But there's some big numbers flying around.
Huge.
Alex Goldsmith, who's a CEO of Medigold Health, put out a lovely statement, which obviously we then put out to our audience, which basically said, look, we've got some vacancies. If any one of you 167 employees feels you can add value to our business, the largest occupational health business in the country, please get in touch. And I thought that was really good.
Yeah.
And another example of how, people want to strive to help others in need.
Makes a huge difference. Recapping on the last podcast, do you want to offer anybody else out for a running race, or is it fair to say that you have retired now?
No. Why would I retire?
Still not.
Well, Neil thinks he can do me in the car park, which...
Pardon?
Neil thinks he can beat me in the car park, which isn't going to happen.
Okay.
But I'm going to carefully word that. Excuse me. And I don't know, I'll arrange for pizzas on the loser for the rest of the staff. Patrick Mulhall, who our good mate Paddy, who used to be the MD at Palite, I think he fancied a go. But Paddy, I don't know if you're watching this. We're not in cars. This is like you can't turn up in your Tesla, mate. This is like a proper.
Not like Fred Flintstone. You got to get out the car.
Yeah. But no, it's all fun and good. Northamptonshire Council or the Northamptonshire Sport do the business games. Because I saw Jordan Spittle from the Cube, great guys, great business, win that. But then they had James Grayson playing in it, and Jordan, I think Jordan's brother, both of which are professional rugby players.
Yeah.
So I don't know, we can have a go on that.
Are we putting ourselves in the same category as...
Well, if I'm going to race James Grayson over 30 metres, he's 12 stone body to die for. He's got to have 10 stone on his back in a rucksack, so we'll just get a load of bricks.
I'll jump on his shoulders.
Yeah, right. Just he's got to have a handicap system, yeah? Okay. put a rucksack on his
weight
back.
Him down.
And not weigh him down, just so we're on an even keel.
So I'd say tie his shoelaces together, because I think even if you weighed him down, he's gonna do you.
Yeah.
He's a machine.
All right, it's a bad example, that. But
yeah, could have picked somebody else. Christmas will be upon us soon.
I know. It is in my house already.
Can you celebrate Halloween first, and then
so we're going Christmas. Pumpkin picking on Saturday.
Such a great day.
No, don't. Liverpool playing Forest at 12:30, and I've got no chance of being home for it. And I've got a horrible feeling that the neighbours will have their pumpkins out, excuse me, as my wife puts our Christmas tree up. Yeah. What?
Nothing.
Yeah, I know. So
it's a little bit early. I mean, Vic, I love you, and please do what makes you happy. But
she ain't going to listen to you, mate.
No, she's not.
She's just going to put it. Well, when I say put it up, we have multiple trees in our house. Yeah. So when should we put it up in the office? Probably December the 1st.
Oh, we've got to go and rescue Santa, haven't we? See if he's found his trousers.
Well, I believe. Why?
Oh, I think he lost his trousers last year, didn't he?
Oh, no.
Where's Frosty? Did we find Frosty?
No, we've got in the lockup. We have got Father Christmas coming for one of our client campaigns, which needs to remain confidential, but there could be an opportunity there. So we'll see.
Could be. I also spoke to somebody about a snow machine the other day as well.
Oh, okay. What, in here? For the office? Or
why not? Can do it that way. Okay. Should we do this again?
Yeah, but not this year. Well, I think that's
too
us
busy.
done.
Too busy. We'll come back in the new year.
No, Fraser, you are busy.
Oh, busy bumblebee. Thanks, Ben. Should we go do some work?
Thank you, Fraser. 2 this year. I think we'll do a couple more next year.
Yeah, be rude not to.
All right, mate. And obviously, anybody that wants to be on the podcast should contact yourself.
Yeah.
Carpool chat. We've got a couple of those coming up.
Got those lined up.
One of which is going to be in a 7.5 tonner.
Yeah,
that will be pretty impressive.
Do you reckon you could drive a 7.5 tonner?
Not round Milton Keynes. I wouldn't want to do that. But yeah, I'd be all right.
You just do it up and down a straight road.
Of course. Yeah. A45.
A45.
Just don't you come anywhere near me with that drone.
I forgot about that. Cool. Thank you, Ben.
Thank you, Fraser.